Hey everybody, Halima LaPlante. I am your wild wolf mama and welcome to my journey. Alright, so week in review. First thing I want to talk about is, my husband came to me and he showed me how sick he is. He showed me how sick he is. He showed me his body and like what's going on with his body and all the different issues that he's having. And to me, okay, so I experienced it like as curiosity. I was curious about what was going on with his body. I had been curious about, what he's going through physically, but I haven't felt, since he uninvited me from his life. He's just living here, and he's really energetically not in alignment with anybody else in the house. And I've just been wondering what he's been going through internally. And when he showed me physically what's going on with his body, it was like a window into what's going on emotionally, because his body is literally manifesting what he's been going through his life, his whole life. And I see that. Like, I see how we as people can hold on to anger and frustration and bitterness and just hold back your own emotions on this, and how your body, your poor body, has to hold all of this like a little cup. But it's not really meant for that. Your body is meant for energy to flow through it. It's like a conduit. It's like a channel. And your body is meant to process that energy, that emotional energy that you get like internally, that you get from somewhere else, the ether, other people, and you just process it. You can purify it, you can ground it. I don't know. It's not meant to hold on to it, and he's been holding on to a lot. And it's showing up as illness in his body. And it just seems so obvious and clear to me. At this point, I think Western medicine is going to be a big help for him. But I don't think any of these problems that he's having physically are going to stop until he starts dealing with the root cause, which I believe, this is just my belief, is an emotional trauma that he's dealing with. And I can't even, my friends, my spiritual friends, they keep saying, oh, you're just so angry, you're so mad, and you hate him. But I don't. And I don't feel sorry for him either, because he's choosing this. We all choose our reality, even me, even you. And so he could choose something else. He's got right here the perfect space. This is why I get so frustrated, because this house and all the people in it, we're all here for him, just like all of them are here for me. We're all here for each other. It's all part of our school. It's all part of our lesson. And he's in this perfect space. I see it so clearly. It just hurts that I can't tell him in a way that he understands, but he's in the perfect space to heal completely. Everything that triggers him about us is everything. Everything about us that triggers him is everything. Everything that, and that can be said about anybody. I know I'm saying it about him because that's who I'm talking about right now. It's easier for me to see other people's shit than it is to see my own. But the good thing is that when I see other people's shit, then I can look and see if that's my shit too. because I wonder if there's not something that I'm doing right now that's going to cause me problems later on because I'm deciding to sweep it under the rug and not deal with it. But I think even just by having these talks with myself is really going to help me to discover things that I need to dive into and try to release in myself. You know? I mean, I'm a projector. I burrow into other people. My aura penetrates other people's auras. And I mean, it does that for a reason. I'm meant to know the other so that I can know myself. I mean, that's the question. Who am I? Where do I end and others begin? What are my boundaries, right? Because that's what it's all about, is boundaries. When people cross over my boundaries, I get a feeling. Usually it's bad because, you know, I don't notice until people cross my boundaries until they've pissed me off or they've hurt me. Oh, okay, there's a boundary. But, so he showed me that. I didn't do anything. I just looked. I didn't know what to do. I feel like I should do something. But then it goes back to, I'm just supposed to wait. And he didn't give me anything to do. He didn't offer anything for me to do other than, do you want to see? So I saw. And that's it. I don't know if that's an opening for, what, you know, is that an invite? Is he inviting me? Is he wanting to know my thoughts? Is he getting to a place where he's wanting and open to how I could possibly help him? I don't know. Since I don't know, I need more information. So I wait. And I don't like waiting. It's the freaking hardest part. Here I am, waiting. And that's it. So, later on that week, what happened? I don't know if I'm done talking about James yet, because honestly, I don't want to, you know what, I don't want to get on a tangent about him because I can get emotional. I don't hate him. I remember when we first met, that beautiful, beautiful man that I met and I fell in love with, and he's not here. Like, all of that is completely gone, and I don't know if it was real. I don't know if it ever was. You know, you can't really know a person. Not really. You meet a person, you think you know them. You think, oh, this is who they are. I love this. And then you get married and you get pregnant, and all of a sudden, it's like they changed. But did they really change? I mean, he's been conditioned his whole life to be a certain kind of way. And just because it's, you know, I don't know. I guess there's parts of us that is not real that have been put on us by other people. That's the part that's the conditioning, because, you know, they're like, if you want to live in this world, then you have to be this way. And so you put on a show. You become the actor in life. But you think it's who you are. That's the dangerous part. You think it's who you are, but it's not. Who you are is... Who you are isn't going to create all these issues and this trauma and these problems. Who you are, who you truly are, I don't think is someone who's going to be creating trauma for other people. I don't know actually about that. But I know that the bits of you that you've been conditioned to be by other people, by generational trauma, by personal trauma, the adapting part of you, the part that your mind has control of. Your mind is always going like a little rabble rouser and saying this, that, and the other thing. It's always going. That part of you, the part that's based in fear, that is not who you are. That is not who I am. for me, when I see someone else, it gives me an opportunity to see myself. But also just people are curious to me. Like, I'm just fascinated by people. I've just been asking questions a lot more recently and just listening to see what they, like, having no idea what they're going to say, like what's going to come out of their mouths when I ask them these questions. And it's always so interesting what they say. So fascinating. You know, I might have an idea about someone and I ask them and then they say something completely different than what I thought. In truth, I know nothing, but I'm curious. I'm very curious. And so later on that week, I was feeling particularly low, and I was feeling bitter, right? Like the projector of bitterness. And I mentioned as much in my group, and that turned into this conversation, which honestly I wasn't intending. Normally if I say things like this, first of all, it's hard for me to admit when I'm feeling down. So just me putting that out there, that's as far as I got in my head. I was just like, okay, I'm putting it out there that I'm not feeling great. Normally I like people to think that I'm always great and upbeat and chipper. And just doing that was enough for me. Like, it was enough just to be able to do that much, just to say I'm not feeling my highest vibration right now. And it turned into this conversation that I did not intend it to turn into. And the thing that triggered me, the thing that stands out in my head about that conversation was towards the end of it, or at the end of it actually, because I ended the conversation after that. I just stopped talking. My friend, Lacey, who I'm always talking about, said something about, oh, well, there's got to be some way to get energy going. You know, you just need to, I know you don't want to hear this, but you just need to love him. And somehow that's going to help get things going. And that really triggered me, because there's one more person who was telling me that I need to give him more. I don't want to give him, I can't give him anymore. First of all, he has formally uninvited me from anything to do with his life. I remember that, as he sat me down in the garage and said, I don't need your help with anything. I never needed your help. I don't want your help with anything in my life. If that's not an invitation, I don't know what else is. Second of all, I have tried everything that I know to try to help get this man back to healthy. And I have poured myself into him so heavily that now I'm at a point where I have nothing left to pour. Everything that I have has to be put back into myself. And that's both been a blessing, it's both been a curse and a blessing, because the way that he is, it's actually been really perfect, because it's what I've needed to do this whole time. It's what I've needed to learn this whole time, is how to pour into myself first. Because I never really did that. If I had, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. It feels really selfish, and I'm starting to feel less guilt about it. But there's a lot of work that I need to do on me, for me, with me. Energetically, I'm needing to be selfish right now. I'm needing to be careful, more careful about who I pour myself into. Because the truth is, as a projector, this is something else I've been noticing this week, is they talk about the projector energy and how we run out. And I've been noticing the difference between my energy levels and the energy levels of the generators in my life. my best friend and my daughter, they're both generators. My daughter's a manifesting generator and my best friend is a generator. And like last Thursday we went shopping and I don't think he slept much. I slept more than he did. But that whole day, like grocery shopping day, is exhausting for me. It's exhausting. They're just thinking, oh, the next store and the next store. We have to go to like 3 or 4 different stores. And then we have to come home and then we have to unpack. And then these people want dinner. And I am already done before I even got home from the grocery store. Already done. But meanwhile, my best friend over here, he's like, oh, it's cool. He's like, I'm talking about he's tired, but he's still going. Going, like the Energizer Bunny. And so is my daughter. She just keeps going until she doesn't go. Then she goes to bed. So I've been trying to be really careful about not setting a bedtime for her specifically, just letting her decide when it's time for her to go to bed. And it's been very interesting. I mean, I know human design is supposed to be an experiment for myself, but I've really been experimenting with other people because I just am so interested in how they work, right? Like, I see my best friend and I see my daughter and just noticing their energy, and I told everyone, I was like, basically, it seems like what you're supposed to do when you're interacting with other people, because my youngest daughter is a projector, middle daughter is a manifesting generator, my oldest son is a manifester. And I'm like, you have to ask for everything. Everything that you do, you ask. You have to ask your sisters, you have to ask me, you have to ask everyone around us, around you. Just ask. And I was like, and that's perfect because your sister is a manifesting generator. She has to respond. That is her thing. She might respond yes, she might respond no. We don't know. But in the asking, it gives her an opportunity to respond. In the asking, it gives my youngest daughter and myself, because we're both projectors, the opportunity to be invited. Right? So it all works out rather perfectly. Everybody must ask. And that's also where boundaries come into play. Right? Because then you're asking, is this something that's okay? Is this your boundary or is this not your boundary? Is this you? Is this me? I know, it's also fascinating. I love human design because it really gives me kind of a structure and like terminology to use, while also allowing people to be exactly who they are in the moment, in that moment. Whoever it is, even if they're acting out of not self, I can recognize it and then not do a damn thing about it unless they invite me. And so I was having these interesting, so I was down and then she said the thing about the loving him, and I just like, that triggered me so frickin' hard because I was like, look, I've already given so much to this man. I have nothing left to give, and I'm sick and tired of people coming to me and telling me that I need to give more. He's not giving me anything. I'm not getting anything from him. I'm supposed to be getting recognized. He doesn't see me. He can't see me because he sees everyone, really, he sees everyone as a perpetrator. I don't want to say enemy, but as someone who, if he's the victim, what's the opposite of a victim? Whatever that word is, that's what everyone else is to him. Because he sees everyone is doing things to him. We're all here to try and hurt him. And so he's always in a state of fear. He's always trying to protect himself. He lashes out because of this. You know, anger, frustration. And we all feel it. We all feel it. And it's sad that he lives here. And I think more so now, I mean, the rest of the family, I've worked hard to create this energy in this house the way that it is. Because I'm trying to lift myself up. Because I'm tired of being unhappy. If I'm lifting myself up, then I'm lifting everyone else up, because everyone really is tired of being unhappy. We've been living under the shadow, the oppressive shadow of him. And I'm trying to break us out of that, and he is unable to come with us. He's unable. But not because of anything that we're doing. He's unable because of the choices that he's making. And that's really sad. So, later that week, I was talking to my friend, Lacey, again, because it's always her. She's always the one, apparently. And we were talking about the different types. And I said some things that I didn't realize that I said. I didn't realize the meaning behind what I said. Sometimes things come out of my mouth and I don't know what they mean. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Like, even here, I don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's probably in my chart somewhere. I have a defined head and a defined ajna. I have a defined throat. I have a defined G center. I have a defined spleen. But the head and ajna are not connected to the throat. The throat is connected to the G center, which is connected to the spleen. But those two things are not connected to each other. So that's gotta be part of it. I don't know, because I'm still learning. Yay! The point is, I said some things like I was talking about the projector role in the world in general, because I'm trying to figure it out. And projectors are here to guide. They're like the leaders. And I think that there's a difference between being a guide and being a leader, because I think that manifestors are here to lead, but I think that projectors are here to guide. And I think manifestors, I'm beginning to think that manifestors don't know where their leadership is going to be until they get invited into it, which makes them a little bit like projectors. But projectors, I think, are waiting for the invitation, whereas manifestors, I think, are waiting for an invitation. I think there's a difference there, and this could change. I'm just trying to figure it out. And of course, you know, we projectors, we create our little community around ourselves full of manifestors, right? Like we have this community that we create, right? With manifestors, with generators, with reflectors, and we have this whole community that we kind of a support group. And the manifestors, our manifestors are there to lead the whole group, lead the generators, right? And so, lead everybody, really. The thing about projectors is that we get our inspiration from the outside world. That's where we get it. So we're looking at the manifestors, and we're looking at the generators, and we're looking at the reflectors, and we're taking it all in these little pieces of puzzles, because we're honing into each aura. And we put the whole puzzle together in a giant vision, so that projectors are kind of like the visionaries. The generators are here to create that, to work and to make that, because projectors are not here to work. We tire out too easily, which has been plainly obvious to me with circumstances of last week. And the reflectors are here to let us know the health, the general health of the community. So that if you have a reflector that is not healthy, that is not doing well, you know that something in the community is not working. The reflectors are like the canaries, the frogs, since I'm learning about frogs too. They are the first line, like they're the nervous system. Yeah. Like if somebody punches you or cuts you, like your nerves are like, sends a direct message to your brain like, rah, 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 something's wrong, something's happened, check it out, fix it, you know. And then you have the hands, which I guess are the generators, right? Because the hands are the things that do. They do the things, they work. The manifestors would be, I don't know, the brain. But then what would the projectors be? I don't know how to continue this analogy. I'm gonna stop. But I didn't realize what really that meant until later on in the conversation. And the other thing I said, this is the big thing, was I said in order for projectors to really be able to do their job as projectors, as guys, they have to completely get rid of their ego, right? And the projector ego is, I know who you are. I know who you are and I know who I am. I know. I already know because I'm seeing it right here in front of me. When in fact, we don't know anything, do we? Even like saying that out loud just now, my mind is like, fuck that girl, you know everybody. But I don't. Every moment of every day with every human, including myself, is a mystery. I love the mystery. I love it. And I think that's okay. But truthfully, I don't know anybody. I can't know them. I can only know what they choose to show me in that moment. So I can take those moments and that information, and if I'm invited, I can work for the community, for the betterment of the entire community, of everybody involved. But I won't be able to do it for the betterment of everybody involved until I get rid of my own ego. Because otherwise, I'm just seeing me. I'm just seeing what I want. Not what's good for everybody. I won't be able to serve everybody. And when I'm in a community that has invited me and I'm working for that community, then that community is taking care of all of my needs, all of my security needs. I'm getting all those basic needs of, I'm getting the community, I'm getting fed, I'm getting, just the basic need. I'm getting money. I'm taken care of. Like, I don't have to worry about that. And I get to do the things that I love, which is helping the community, which is beneficial to the community. But first, I have to get rid of the ego. And I said that, but I didn't understand what it meant until later on in the conversation. And then it just blew my mind. Now I'm not there yet, because I'm still trying to figure people out. Like, my mind still does that. And maybe it's just a matter of just letting my mind do that, but realizing that that's not true. Might be true for in the moment, but it's not true always. I mean, people are always changing, aren't they? And who knows what's going on underneath in those secret parts, right? Because you look at the human design chart, for instance. There's red gates and there's black gates. And some of those gates are what we know, what we can depend on, what is visible to us. They call them, it's like the roads, that's what they say. But then some of those are, and I don't remember which is which, black or red, Some of those are more like tunnels, and they're hidden from us. They're still true, but we don't know them. And people are like that. And I guess that's part of my draw, is I just am so attracted to the unknowable. You can never know everything. And even just in our tiny little infinitesimal human lives, that's just a small part of the grander scale of the universal truth, which we will never fully understand, not in this form. I don't know about the next. I don't know. But the universal, grander scale of what is true and what is real, we can't know that. We can only know what we're meant to understand in this moment of any given day. That is it. That is all we need to be concerned with. And more will be revealed to us as is necessary. And we don't understand how all of this works, or what it's supposed to do, or the impact that it's going to have. We never will, not in the moment. That's why it's important that we follow our own inner authority. We have to follow what that part of us inside is that knows. We have to follow that, even when it doesn't make sense. Because that is going to be the best thing to do for the good of everybody. For the good of yourself, your family, your friends, your community, the universe. Anyway, that was a deep-ass conversation. But yeah, that was what we touched on, and it was a great conversation. It was an amazing conversation. It's the kind of conversation that I want to be having more of. And even though I've just been introduced, I feel like I've just been introduced to human design, I see how beneficial it is. And because it's given me a platform to be able to see, to be able to change how I do things. I've been doing things the same way, and I don't think I realized that I was doing it the same way. I thought I was doing it differently. But through this system, this experiment, whatever it is called, I've been able to make even the smallest of changes, but make the biggest impact in my life. And I want to be able to show this to other people. I want to be able to bring this to other people, which is why, I started doing, I don't know if it's what I meant to do, because I kind of put it out there. Nobody's really invited me to do these sessions with them yet. But I'm still hoping that it will be a thing. Because honestly, looking at these charts, the charts of other people, is so fascinating to me. And having these conversations with people, really, that's thrilling for me. So I'm just waiting for people to invite me to do these charts for them and to go over these charts for them, so that I can learn not only more about human design, about other people, just ask questions and investigate. But then also maybe I'll learn something about myself too. And I think creating this community, I feel like the community that I've been creating these past 2 years with the last company that I was working with is not actually my community. I've been calling in the wrong people. And like now I feel like I need to scratch that and start all over again. Maybe not all over again, because I did meet that, you know, the spiritual community. And I think that was really the point of the last company, was for me to meet these people. This was where I was going to meet these people. And now that I've left, I've got these people in my life, these amazing, amazing women who are all having this journey with me. And now that I've got them, not like I own them or anything, but now that they're here in my life, now I'm thinking I need to rethink everyone else that's in my friends list, because these are the wrong people. These are the wrong people. I need to make a new community. One that sees me. And you know what I'm going to do? You know how I'm going to do that? You know how I'm going to do that? I'm going to post. I'm going to post from inspiration. And the people who it speaks to are going to add friend. They're going to add friend. They're going to find me. They're going to be attracted to me. Not attracted to me, but they're going to be drawn to me, energetically drawn to me, if that makes sense. And they're going to hit that add friend button. And that is going to be the invitation to join the community that I'm creating. And they're going to be perfect. That's it right there. Right here, right now. I just figured it all out. I'm amazing. That's awesome. So next week, I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time on that Facebook account, deleting people who I think are probably not a part of that magical community that I'm creating. They're going to be creators. They're going to be my creators. Oh my God, they're my artists. They're my artists. I thought I was going to make an artist community, but I'm going to be making a community of creators. Real creators. See, and that's the thing, is I kept thinking, I'm not thinking big enough. I haven't been thinking big enough. I wanted to be an actress on stage. I wanted to be an actress in the movies in Hollywood. That never happened for me because I wasn't thinking big enough. There's something bigger. So then I got pregnant. I had to get out of the Hollywood scene, but I wanted to still have a foot in the door of the arts. That's what I kept saying in my head, the arts, the arts, the arts. And I'm still really passionate about that. I don't think that's ever going to stop. I don't know what this community is actually going to look like, but my field of vision was very narrow until just this second, when I realized, because someone said, my friend Jennifer, she said that being creative doesn't necessarily mean being in the arts, and I had a hard time with that because that's what artists do, and it's not necessarily, because she said that being creative meant problem solving, which I think in part can be true. You can certainly create creative solutions, but I still don't think that's the whole truth about being a creative. I think there's yes, that's one of the ways in which you can apply being creative, but it's not the only way. And I think I don't want to say the main way, but that's the way that most people think of, is in the arts. You're a visual artist, you're a performing artist, you know? But now I'm starting to realize that maybe what I'm meant to create is a community of creatives, whatever that encompasses. And that brings the scope so much bigger than just in the 7 disciplines of the arts. Or is it 8? I think it's 7. It broadens the scope so that my vision is even huger now. I mean, not my vision, the vision. I don't really like to own it because I feel like it didn't really come from me, it came to me. But I'm the one that sees it. I don't know if there's a word for that. The person who, not that I own it, but that I see it. So when I say my vision, that's what I mean. Not that I own it, but that I see it. That it came to me as things go. So yeah, this week I think I'm going to be putting a little bit of focus into shrinking down my friends list, which is of course is the complete opposite that network marketers are supposed to do, right? We are not supposed to be cutting your entire friends list back down to like the 300 or 400 that you had when you first began. But those were my people. Those were my people. And I am grateful for the people that I met since, you know, joining the last company that I was with. I don't know if I can even say who they were, so I'm just gonna skip it. But that's where I am right now, and that feels right to me. My intuition is telling me that the community that I created is actually the wrong community, and I need to go through and purify it. Purify it. I guess that's the word. So, thank you for joining me on the latest journey. I really appreciate you. If you have an interest in inviting me to do a session with you, I highly recommend you go to my Facebook page, Wild Wolf Mama, M-O-M-M-A, and message me. Invite me to do a session with you. It's 30 minutes. That's all I've got right now. When I become further along in my journey, I'll be able to offer more and have more value to give to you guys and to offer to you guys, because eventually I'd like to get to a place where I can do hour-long sessions with you and help you along on your journey, whether it be human design or otherwise, just to help you in any way that I can. So invite me to a session if this is something that you think would be interesting, if you think would be good for you. $30 for 30 minutes, quick little session. And you can also find me on TikTok. I think on TikTok I'm Wild Wolf Mama 3. I am also on YouTube, which is where this video is, and I'm on my website, which is also where this video is. The website is wildwolfmama.com, and you'll also be able to please subscribe and like and comment. I cannot tell you how amazing it would be if you would just comment hello, say that you're here. Then I know that I'm not just speaking to myself and nobody's getting any value out of this, because if no one's getting any value, if no one's seeing me, if no one's recognizing me, why am I doing this? I might as well just stop. So I need the back and forth. I really want it. So like, subscribe, comment, and if I think that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.